my name is Brett Bell. I'm the city manager of Tybee Island. I'm joined here today with Wally Hattrick. He's our city marshal, our fire chief McMillan, Chief Hayes, Mayor West, Mac with code compliance. I've got Councilwoman Williams in the audience, Councilman Plew, Councilman Hosty. I think that's it out there. I really appreciate y'all coming. This is our third public meeting on Orange Crush Festival event. We've had a meeting with basically the lodging industry. We had a meeting with the South End Business District. And this is our first general public meeting. We plan on following up with, I believe, 3 news conferences that the public's invited to attend as well, tackling very specific issues in the run-up to this event on April 19th. I'm going to go through the permitting process, where we are right now. I'm going to hand it over to our police chief to talk through public safety, and through the city marshal to talk through some of our parking and traffic plans. So just a little history that everybody knows here, right? Orange Crush started off as a really a local college spring break event organized by the student union at Savannah State University in 1989. For those who were around at that time, and I've talked to some who were, it was a tight event, pretty small, very local, mostly a very good event. A few incidents happened in subsequent years, and Savannah State really distanced itself from the event itself. And then it became, as you all know, a bit of a free-for-all in the ensuing decades. And it was an on-again, off-again event in the 35 subsequent years. You all know what happened in 2023, but that was really sort of one in a sort of periodic, I'd say out of control sort of event that visited the island through the years. Every few years, we just have like a really big showing out there. As I went through the history with my team and with members of the public, my takeaway was this event is going to happen whether or not we have a permanent event. And it's even worse because there's no coordination that happens with event organizers. There's no predictability. And sometimes some of the promoters play a lot of games, right? And so there's shifting dates, which means that we have to set up our full public safety and traffic apparatus on multiple weekends, which is the worst scenario, the lack of predictability. So when I came in, I met with a lot of my team. Chief Hayes gave me a pretty extensive three-ring binder, and we began regular briefings on this event. And I walked away very impressed with our level of planning, particularly that went into last year's event. It's a good game plan, and I'm planning on doing nothing to change that. The public safety plan with more than 100 officers, our traffic plan, which has a public safety lane down the middle of Butler and US 80, so that we can get in and out in case of an emergency. Our parking plan, which really limits the number of parking, and our blocking off of the parking lots. And again, in our experience, when bad things happen, they tend to happen in parking lots with large gatherings of individuals. That will all continue. In my experience, bad things also happen when large groups of people arrive in a space and there's nothing for them to do. They tend to make up their own activities, and sometimes those activities are not safe activities, and they're not compatible with the island. So when we were approached in December by 2 event organizers, we sat down and tried to work with them. Again, my thinking is this event's going to happen no matter what. We're going to protect the island just like we did before. I believe it's preferable if there's an organized event, and if we can work with an organizer on controlling the message and partnering with someone who is affiliated with this event that's going to happen whether or not we want it. These 2 individuals, Stephen Smalls and George Turner, they've been sort of loosely affiliated with other Orange Crush events in the past. They've approached us in the past about doing a permitted event, but they were never able to get in a full application. In December of 2024, they submitted to the city of Tybee a 57-page application for a 3-day event. That 3-day event, they had asked for control of the parking lots, vendor booths sort of all over the place, 2 stages on the beach with a whole bunch of activities on there. We sat down with the organizers, and our main message was if this is going to happen, it needs to start as a very small, very simple event. Through a bunch of back and forth, we negotiated from a 3-day event to a 1-day event, 1 stage on the beach, no control over our parking lots, no off-beach activities like they want to happen, and really limit the hours of operation from a 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. event with total clear out by 8 p.m. On January 29th of this year, we issued them a conditional letter of approval. And what that basically means is if you meet certain very specific conditions that we laid out, then we would issue them a permit. So between January 29th and yesterday, we've been meeting on a weekly basis to work through those conditions. There's 12 very specific conditions. The big ones really were detailed security plan with contract, and our requirement, which was really driven by our police chief, was 20 sworn police officers and 10 private security. We wanted them to hire an additional ambulance to protect the island so that the full-time ambulance that's out here isn't tied up with event-related calls. So we wanted 2 ambulances on the island. A sanitation contract. We wanted them to bring in a full sanitation team to provide services throughout the event and then to quickly clean up after the event. A major issue that the mayor frequently brought up and was a major topic was bringing the beach back into shape in time for sunrise service on Easter Sunday the next day. That was every meeting we talked about how we're going to do that, and we're continuing as we sort of move forward. That is our game plan. So sanitation is a big issue, and it's been a big issue in the past. And then they had to produce a $1 million certificate of insurance naming, specifically naming the city of Tybee. On March 11th, they provided us a contract with Chatham Emergency to hire a 2nd ambulance on the island. On March 12th, we received our certificate of insurance. March 18th of this week, we received a signed contract for security. They have provided the police chief these numbers, whatever they're called, basically identification numbers for each of the sworn post-certified officers. Chief Hayes has done full background checks on all the police officers to ensure that they're post-certified and there's no pending disciplinary actions against them. I believe as of yesterday, we had 19 of the 20 cleared. We're still working on the last one. We had negotiated down to an approved site plan. And again, the site plan is contained to the beach. We wanted to make sure it was open and not a closed-in environment, because again, in our experience, bad things happen in closed-in environments. And then so yesterday, after sitting down and working through all of those issues, I issued them a permit for a 1-day event on April 19th. This is the approved site plan. Again, the stage, a single stage will be set up just to the south of the 14.5 Street crossover, also known as Burke's crossover. The green, the sort of black thing is the stage. The green area, they're planning on setting up beach chairs for rent with umbrellas. We thought that was a positive addition to have more of a anyway, more of an organized event. The white rectangles on either side of the stage are VIP areas. So those would be special sort of ticketed areas, controlled. Everything else is open. That area, you don't need a ticket to enter into that beach area. It's open. The little green squares outside of the festival area are vendor tents, and we're only allowing them to sell water and event-related merchandise, which are mostly T-shirts and hats that with branded logos. Outside vendors are not allowed on the beach. Some of the other tents are promoting sponsors that are sponsoring the event with the organizers. Within that, you'll see some random dots and stuff, and those are mostly security placement and trash cans, basically, throughout the event. And they'll have roaming sanitation workers throughout. I'm going to turn it over to Chief Hayes and City Marshal Hattrick to walk through the security and traffic plan really quick.
Yep. So, hi everybody. I'm Chief Hayes. Just like last year, you're going to see something very similar. This is the first year for a permit. We know it's going to be 1 day permitted, but we're still planning for a 3-day event. We will have our officers, state and local partners, arrive on Thursday. Thank you to the STR companies who have graciously offered housing to them. It's a huge weight off of our shoulders to keep them on the island because, as you know, the road commuting back and forth is hectic. So as long as we can keep them on the island, that means they're here to make sure that the island is safe. Georgia State Patrol will be helping us again. Georgia DNR will be helping us again. Motor Compliance will be helping us again. And so will the Chatham County Sheriff's Office, the McIntosh County Sheriff's Office, and the state arson investigators. Everybody's going to have their role in this event. So we're going to plan to work a 3-day event like we did last year. We have seen outside promoters and agitators who may come and try to make this a 3-day event. So we're going to plan for it to be a 3-day event. Although it's permitted for 1, we're planning for 3. Georgia State Patrol will be helping us with traffic. Motor Compliance will be in the emergency lane, securing the emergency lane so that emergency vehicles only can use that emergency lane. I beg anyone to please do not ride a bicycle in that lane. Last year we had a lot of individuals who were upset that the parking lanes were closed on Butler and they were trying to utilize the middle lane as a bicycle lane. That is dangerous to not only the bicyclists but also the first responders that are there because we need to be able to move about the island without having to dodge bicyclists in the emergency lane. Please utilize the bicycle route on Lovell and 2nd Avenue. It's for your safety, for our safety. We just want to get through this event with everybody being safe. The state arson investigators will work alongside the fire and ambulance services. In 2023, they were utilized a lot because we were having a lot of overdose incidents on the beach, and it wasn't safe for the fire and ambulance to go in alone. And because we didn't have enough sworn personnel on the island, we couldn't always go in with them. So for the safety of the participants and other individuals on the island, the state arson investigators will travel with the fire department and the ambulance services because they are sworn officers. DNR will be on the beach heavily like they did last year. They are there to assist us, the Tybee officers, if we have to move in to help out the sworn officers that were hired by the promoters or to help during Friday or Sunday when the permit is not issued. Our officers, we will have 23 officers. We are a 23-strong department. We worked this in 2023 with 3. We worked it in 2024 with the same number. But you have to remember that we have to work this whole island. So that was the reason for my request and my command staff's request for the permitter to get 20 sworn law enforcement officers to work their event. They're sworn law enforcement officers. They take an oath like all of us to uphold the law, and that's what we expect them to do during this event, during the permitted event on the beach. The promoter has hired 20 sworn law enforcement officers. We got the list. We went through the list. We vetted them. 4 of them were not in good standing with Georgia Post Council, so we went back to the promoter, and they have returned with 19. We're still waiting for 1 more number. There's no sense for the promoter to pay for 20 sworn law enforcement officers and only get 16. He needs to get what his money is paying for, and we need to make sure that there are sworn officers on that beach that can make arrests, handle issues when they arise, and take care of the situation. That is their purpose on that beach on Saturday. We will gladly assist them. We will go in. This is still our island, but for the event, their 20 sworn officers will handle the event. You will see the barricades go up like they did. They won't go up as soon as they did last year. Sergeant Hattrick will talk more on that, but for this event, you will see a huge presence of law enforcement on the island working alongside of us, helping us out, and they will start arriving on Thursday, and they will not leave until we clear them to leave on Sunday. They will be the first to go, and our officers will stay behind. We're going to be working very, very long hours, and we greatly appreciate all of the support from the community. Y'all were great to us in 2024, and we hope that you can partner with us in 2025 to be, to get us through this again. It's long hours on us. It's nothing we look forward to doing, but any assistance is greatly appreciated. The mayor's wife, Becky West, is gladly and gratefully assisting us with food services for the officers. If anyone wants to help, if anyone wants to bake a cake, some brownies, cookies, whatever you want to do to contribute, that will also be greatly appreciated. You will see a road safety checkpoint. We plan 3 of these throughout the year. This will be our 2nd. We just conducted one in March. We do a 3rd in October. Same thing we did last year. It was no surprise. We announce them. We let them know when it's happening, where it's occurring. So there will be a road safety checkpoint. We'll announce that as the date gets closer. I'm going to hand over the microphone to Sergeant White so he can, Sergeant Hattrick, so he can handle and discuss the parking and the blocking in the parking lots.
Hey, everybody. If you don't know me, I'm Wally. Everybody calls me Wally. But it's Sergeant Walter Hattrick. I'm the city marshal for the city of Tybee. I'm also a sergeant in the police department. And I also am the director of code compliance, which includes parking services now. So all of the parking related plans that we have for the island fall on me. So last year we instituted a what's commonly called bicycle rack barricades in all of our on-street parking from the curve south on Butler Avenue, creating an area where we don't have on-street parking and we don't have the potential for vehicles stopped on the side of the road to then talk and chat with vehicles that are stuck in traffic, and we end up with a small party that pops off in the middle of the street. Those things have happened in the past, and they're problematic to traffic. They're also problematic to officers responding to particular calls on the island. We are going to maintain, as the chief said, that traffic lane, that emergency traffic lane down the center of Highway 80 and Butler Avenue. You'll see that begin all the way out at Lazaretta Creek Bridge. So when you come onto the island, you will be directed into the right-hand lane. Those 2 center lanes will be for emergency vehicles on the entire island. As you approach Byers, which is one of the first residential streets on our island, you may begin seeing big blocks of bicycle rack barricades strapped together, sitting in city right-of-ways. Those will be used to close down areas of the north end should we need to do so. And you'll see those placed around all over the island, kind of a just-in-case situation. Once you reach the curve, that is where the bicycle rack barricades will be deployed to block the on-street parking. All driveways will be open. We're not going to block anyone's personal driveway. We're not going to block anyone's business driveway, anything like that. It is only on-street parking, and we will be blocking the residential streets on the interior side of Butler Avenue. So not the beachside streets, but the interior of the island, the streets that are on the west side of Butler Avenue. Those will get blocked at some point prior to the event. Last year, we blocked them off fairly early. We did not know that United Site Services, who is our provider, was as efficient as they are at doing their jobs. You know, we bring in about 24,000 linear feet of bicycle rack barricade, so that's several miles of barricade, and those guys put it up in a heartbeat, and rightly so. You know, I took some flack over that. We pulled the trigger on that. I pulled the trigger on that a little too early, and we got some complaints on, you know, feeling like everybody was fenced in for an entire week, and you were. And I own that 100%. So this year, I've already spoken with our provider. We have the same crew coming from last year. We have the same supervisor from United Site Services coming from last year. And he and I have had several conversations about placing the barricades, staging them, getting them ready to go, and just starting that setup at a later date in the week. So more middle of the week, late Wednesday kind of thing. Don't quote me on that. But that's the time frame that we're shooting for to start placing all that stuff. Leave those interior island blockages, right? So second, third, fourth, towards the interior of the island, that west side. We're going to leave those open as long as we possibly can, so as to inconvenience our residents as little as possible. And then sometime, you know, late Thursday night or somewhere around in there, maybe early Friday morning, our United Site Services crews will start blocking those up and locking those streets down. As you get down towards Park of Seven Flags, we will have that will turn one way. When you get down there, it will go down the inlet. And then as we get to 17th Street, it will turn left east one way towards Butler Avenue. It will come up to Butler Avenue, and it'll turn one way again north on Butler. So it will make a loop around. We can't do it at Inlet, right? It's too narrow. We have some other issues, or sorry, at Park of Seven Flags, it's too narrow there. So we take that nice gentle loop around 17th Street. It works pretty well. And at 17th Street, if you happen to be in that loop and you have a rental agreement for a short-term rental or something like that that's on 17th Street, we will have staff at just about every intersection along that route that will be able to accommodate somebody, you know, and get them to where they need to go without sending them through the entire loop, back out to the north end of the island to Jones, and down, and they have to drive all over the island. So we're not, unless you have an ID that says, hey, I live right here, or you have a rental agreement or something like that, you know, you don't have a purpose for going through the barricades. We are going to send you through. If you want to get to that area for some particular reason, then you would have to go back out and utilize Jones Avenue to get into those residential areas. Tybee Street will be blocked off. 15th Street will be blocked off. 14th Street will be blocked off towards the parking lots. We will control the parking lots in their entirety. We are utilizing a portion of the 15th parking lot next to the South Annex as a tow yard. We tow quite a few vehicles during this event for parking related incidents, for various other things. Some of those tows will go to the police department. They're required by law to come here. Other tows will come to that makeshift lot that United Site Services is going to be standing up for us. And that will be monitored by the tow company, staffed by the tow company through the duration of the event. We will be utilizing 15th Street parking lot, 14th Street parking lot in front of Hotel Tybee as a laydown lot. And a laydown lot is simply going to be the area where we offload all of that 24,000 linear feet of bicycle rack barricades, and store them in the parking lots. It's about 10 to 12 tractor trailer loads of bicycle rack barricades that they will be bringing in the week prior. So it's going to be a lot of activity in there. We will shut that parking lot down before, or portions of the parking lot down prior to the event as soon as those trucks start coming in. Our plan is to, as soon as the event is over, I've already spoken with the supervisor for United Site Services, and between him and my crew and some public works crews, we will open up the parking lot that night. We will move quite a few things around. We're going to open up as much parking as possible for Sunday service, for Easter Sunday. So if you're planning on coming to that, don't worry about parking. I will have plenty of parking down there for you. The 16th Street parking lot will get opened up. The 14th and 15th lots will get opened up. We will not be able to break down the tow yard and some of the laydown lot area, but we will tighten all of that stuff up as much as possible to give you guys parking to come down and enjoy that activity on Sunday morning. We plan on keeping the on-street parking in place, like the chief said, through the duration of what we are planning as a 3-day event. As soon as we get the word from the chief to break down, it will take our guys at Site Services about a day, about a full day, maybe day and a half to break down and get all that stuff off the streets and out of the way so that you guys are inconvenienced as little as possible. But you are going to see some of that stuff still hanging around on Monday after Easter Sunday. And anybody have any questions about that? Yes, ma'am.
This all includes the north end parking as well, correct?
Yes, ma'am. So we will not block the north end streets until the point we decide we need to. But there will be bicycle rack barricades staged from 2nd Avenue North all the way out to Byers. And those, which we utilized in 2024, the chief said, you know, hey, block the streets. Everybody took a street. We pulled the barricades across the roads, and it worked very well to control traffic on the north end of the island. So we're not leaving the north end hanging out there, you know, without any traffic controls or anything like that. They are there. They will just be utilized as needed.
And is that for the streets and the parking lot, or will the parking lot and North Beach?
Parking lot at North Beach will stay open.
Will stay open?
Yes, ma'am. It'll stay open. So.
Where will the participants park?
Wherever they can find a legal parking spot. There's plenty of parking out all along the north end of Highway 80. That's all on-street parking out there. That's not going to be closed. It is only from the curve south. So. Sorry.
Just really quick, because I do want to open it up for questions. Before we go there, I just want to wrap this up. So again, our partnership with an event organizer is going to be new for the island. We don't know how it's all going to go, and if it doesn't go the way we want it to go, then we'll do it differently next year, right? But our hope is things are going to go well. We hope the event organizer is successful. We hope he does well. We hope the businesses on the island do well. But you know, public safety and protecting our residents and our businesses is going to be our number one priority throughout. That's going to drive most of our decisions out there, is protecting the island. I do want to invite the mayor up really quick to wrap us up, and then we'll open it up for questions at the end.
Thank you. How's everybody today? We all have mostly bad memories about this event and what's happened in the past, and especially the year 2023. Our Chief Hayes, with her leadership, created a program that I have found that works so well that many people don't remember that it happened last year. It was really a safe event, which is our number one goal. The people that made it to the beach that day were college students. We didn't have the bad actors that are normally a part of the crowd in there. There were a few, but because we have access to the pier, or we have control of the pier, our DNR agency is able to see what's going on in the crowd, and they can help bring out bad actors kind of quietly. And they did an excellent job of that last year. Wally kind of already pointed out, one of my major concerns this year was that 420, also happens to fall on Easter, and I had a lot of complaints about this event taking place on Easter. We don't choose, when the event's going to be. The promoters do that. Maybe we can work with them in the future now that we're in a permitting process. Like everyone said, the purpose of the permit was to define the hours and day of the event, because we want this crowd cleared out so that we can have Easter Sunday. So if you're planning, especially if you're from Savannah, if you traditionally come down here for sunrise services on Easter, our faith leaders in the community have united to create a sunrise service, and parking will be available. It will be safe for you to come here for that service. So I encourage you to do so if that's your tradition. I really appreciate Brett's leadership in this year. Everyone that came last year, like I said, was a college student. They were safe. They were grateful to me that they had a safe environment to come to. I got a lot of feedback on that. But they were idle. They were there all day with no activities, and that kind of makes you nervous too, like what's going to happen when there's nothing to do. So this year we have the opportunity to provide some activities, and we'll just all pray it goes well. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. Now we'll open up for questions. Yes, ma'am, in the back.
Yes, I'd like to speak on behalf of the event organizer.
Okay. Yeah, you want to come up? Sure. Hey, George, how are you? It's good to see you.
Likewise.
Yeah. Hey, Bruno. Come on, nice to meet you.
Hi, Ms. Kia Waters.
Nice. Yeah, go ahead. It's Miss Waters.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Ms. Kia Waters. I'm COO of New Heights Management. We've partnered with the event organizer to help make this event a very safe one, a very efficient one, and a well-organized one. I am accompanied with my CEO, Devon Cormack, and George. Everyone knows George. He is also here to make sure that you all know that we are taking this event very seriously. We want to make sure that the culture and the cleanliness of the beach is maintained post-event. My team, we are coming down here from Atlanta. We are coming down here in droves to make sure that we have rapid cleanup following the event. We are roaming for safety, making sure that attendees are having good, orderly, and organized fun, and that we are maintaining at all times their safety, and that they know that this is an event that is very much so for their benefit, but also for Tybee. We want to, in our Welcome Center, make sure that they know how important that this island is and how important the city is. We want them to know the history. We're taking a full day to educate them. We are handing out a welcome flyer to let them know about how important the city is, where the events are taking place, and that the beach event is a one-day event. And when it ends, we are directing them away from the city for rapid cleanup. Okay, so that's very much important. I want to thank all the previous speakers that represent the city of Tybee that spoke before me, detailing all the precautions that we all are taking to make this event a very safe and efficient one, very organized one. We're here, my team is here to facilitate the effort of this one-day event, April 19th, and following the event, we understand how important it is that Easter is brought in on a beautiful, clean Tybee beach, and we are going to have a rapid cleanup. We are going to have, right now we have 30, and we're planning for 50 people to be there. Following the event, ending, we are going to be on that beach cleaning it, hands on the ground, making sure that that beach is pristine for you in the morning. We're taking this very, very seriously, okay? So I just want to make sure that we came on and let you know that your convenience, your needs are being met, and we're taking them very, very much seriously.
So like she said, the beach will be clean. We'll make sure that we're completely out of you guys' way so that you can, you know, enjoy Easter the right way and maybe even bring him for his Easter speech.
Okay, stop.
Also, I would just like to let everybody know that on the 19th, all of our DJs that are on there, we have at least 20 of them on every hour, on the hour, right? They will be reiterating on safety and making sure cleanliness is happening on the beach. We are letting them know that we are working in togetherness with Ms. Hayes, well, Chief Hayes, sorry, respect. With Chief Hayes, the mayor and everybody, we are letting them know that this is the first official situation with this city with y'all. And we want that to go the best thing ever. All them old years, we want them to be old. Right now it's about making sure that this new relationship, the official relationship, is organized, is chain of command, everything that has to go where we need to, what we need to, that helps working with y'all and the city, making sure that it's very cleanly and up to par. Right, so we, like she said, we will be having rapid cleanup, where everything will be where they need to be, making sure that we let y'all know that 19th is gonna be ready for the 20th for y'all. And I just want to say everything else. I want to apologize to everybody. All the other years we were disrespecting because it wasn't official. Everybody was just doing anything. This year is not that. So thank you.
You guys can stay up here if you want. Great, thanks. Like I said, the focus here is a positive event. We're hoping this new partnership will lead to a positive event on Tybee Island. Any questions out there? Yes, sir.
Who's paying for all the extra police that we're bringing in? Because I keep hearing $250,000.
Sure. Yeah, there is significant cost for Tybee Island, as there has been in previous years. Again, we've asked the organizers are paying for 20 sworn officers, 10 private security officers, a sanitation team, taking out $1 million insurance. So they're contributing to the event, and the city of Tybee, we asked Tybee City Council last month to approve a budget adjustment totaling about $220,000 to provide for portable toilets, barricades, and additional logistical support for Tybee Island. Yep. So there is a significant cost here.
I got one other concern.
Okay.
Parking. You
Yeah.
said you're putting barriers up on Butler and you're moving them toward the north end of visitors. Okay. So as soon as Butler gets on, I live on Laurel. So as soon as Butler gets full, just like that, you're going to have them parking in Laurel in our yards because there's really no parking on that road. And that's what happened a year or two, not last year. You did a great job last year.
Yep.
But before that, we have them pushed off. I'm afraid you're
Sure.
leaving those unblocked. Our yards, our stuff are going to be parked.
I can answer that.
So it will happen just like it did last year, right? So that didn't happen in your yard last year.
The roads were blocked off from the beginning.
They were not blocked off from the beginning, I promise you. We made a call midday and blocked all of that stuff off. I'm the one that went and did it. I promise you that if we see traffic going in a manner that is not safe, that the call will be made to block all of those streets off on the north end. We have the plan already set in place to do that, and those barricades will be pre-staged. There will be no need to bring them in or do anything like that. They will be pre-staged all over the north end to be able to control traffic and push traffic directions that we feel is necessary to push it. Okay?
Yeah, ma'am.
Just real quick question. We live on Lewis Avenue, and oftentimes when there's big events, folks like to cut through Lewis to come up to Jones and on up to Butler. If, and I understand you're not going to close that off the street, but if we start to see some problems with traffic, significant rises in traffic, who do we call? Who do we report that to?
So we will, I believe last year we closed Lewis Avenue, Miller Avenue, 2nd Avenue, and Lovell on the south side of Highway 80. Those will be closed the beginning of the event. So sometime, you'll see that sometime Friday morning or late Thursday evening, you'll see those road closures happen. And we did have some issues with 6th Street. So as a result of last year, an after-action meeting that we have decided to put up some barriers on 6th Street closer to where the bridge is or where the little culvert is, right? The issue with that is, if we do that too early, we trap everybody, on Lewis Avenue in, and you can't go anywhere, right? So there are some issues with that, right? Trying to leave 6th Street open, as much as possible. But we will have some barriers staged on 6th Street if we need to close 6th Street, if you're seeing traffic running up on Lewis Avenue, but turning off of Highway 80 onto Lewis Avenue, that will be closed. Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
yeah, sure.
I have a question for the sponsors. Given that parking is a real concern, at any time, but especially when we have a big event, are you all encouraging people to carpool? Are you organizing buses to bring people down, shuttles, so that people, last year, I let a group of young women who had driven down from Atlanta park in my driveway, because I'm just like, if you promise not to litter, you can park here. And, they'd driven for 4 hours and didn't have a place to park. So I'm hoping that as organizers, y'all are alerting people to the shortage of parking and are encouraging transportation.
Yes, we are working with different charter companies from the Atlanta area as well as the Charlotte area to work on selling out, first and foremost, those buses and that crowd coming into town, and matching that with the hotel, and then using those same buses for transportation on and off the beach from 8 a.m. that morning Saturday until 8 p.m. that night. That way, by the time 10 p.m. is around, we got everybody off the beach is clean, the stage and everything is gone. And that way, that morning, like I mentioned earlier, we can bring the kids out and work on our Easter speeches and praise God the way that we do and we have done for forever.
Thank you.
Great, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate it. Anyone else? Yeah, in the back.
Hey, my name's Jake Shore. I work for the Current. I just was wanting to clarify something you said. Did you say it was 20 sworn officers and 10 security, or was it just 20 sworn officers?
It's 20 and 10. That's correct.
Okay.
Anyone? Well, I'll get to you in a sec, but I just want to make sure. Anyone else? Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
No,
Oh, wait, right here. Just really quick for you.
Mainly answer my question with her about Lewis, and I'm concerned about Miller too, and Jones. Jones gonna be blocked off, but they tend to go down Miller to get access out to 80. Same if you wait and block it at the culvert.
Yes, ma'am. So
Turn down Miller.
on Highway 80 on the west side of the street, Lewis Avenue, Miller, Lovell, and 2nd will be blocked. Jones will be open. We have to, we have to allow for people to gain access to all of those residential streets down there. So Jones will be open. I can't close Jones. Otherwise, there's no way in and out of anywhere on the, the south end of the island. That Jones will remain open. It will be monitored by staff There will be a police officer there. There will be other staff members there at Jones. So it will stay open. That will be if you live south of Highway 80 and west of Butler. That is where your ingress and egress point will be to get to anything past the barricades. Okay?
Sir?
How does it work for the residents that live on these block streets or their guests that are coming for, staying for a short-term vacation rental? How does that work for them getting in and out?
So if your short-term vacation rental is, I'll just throw one out there, 902 Jones Avenue, right? You will instruct your guests to utilize Jones Avenue in order to get to that address. If it's inside of that, that barricaded off area, it will be on you as the property manager or homeowner to notify whoever's coming in for that weekend that they will need to utilize Jones Avenue to get to that particular property. If they happen to get down into that 17th Street loop or something like that, trying to get to one of those properties, or they're trying to get to the Strand between 16th and 18th, right, for those properties that are in there, we will have staff at every one of those intersections, and those staff have been instructed to let people through the barricade if they present an ID that says, hey, I live right there, or they have a rental agreement from a management company or you as a property owner that, hey, I'm going to this house, which is right there. We're not going to make them go all the way through the loop, go all the way up to Jones, come all the way down Jones, and figure out how to get across. And yeah, that's very difficult to do. So we have made contingencies for having breaks in those barricades that we control, and we can just swing that open. We can let a homeowner get access to those particular areas if we need to. That's going to be a very congested route to take. It would be much quicker and less hassle for your guests. If you did just instruct them to go Jones Avenue, they would be able to come down 18th Street, turn up Butler Avenue, and get to 17th. We have somebody staffing that right there. And if they come up 17th or come up Butler Avenue, they could simply turn right onto 17th Street. And then we have another person staged at 17th and Strand that can direct them through the parking lots or different areas down there on the Strand to be able to gain access to those properties. And additionally, I know Josh, you're here. I don't know who else is here from some of the businesses on the south end. We will have 16th lot, 17th lot, 18th, all open for decal-only parking. So if you have a Tybee parking decal or an EDP decal, right, your employees can park in there, and they would have to walk a short distance to get to the business, wherever that happens to be, but they won't have to worry about trying to park on, side streets, level, things like that. They will be able to utilize those south end parking lots. We will have someone checking for decals there and allowing decal vehicles into that parking lot for you guys. So,
yeah.
Does the city plan to post this anywhere visually where these barricades will be?
Yeah, yes. Yep, we just issued the permit yesterday. We just finalized the plans, and over the next few weeks, we're going to be posting barricade information, road closure information, all the logistical information on our website. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
To kind of add to that, I see a lot of people here that we're talking to. These are residents of Tybee Island. They've lived here a long time, and some of them pretty much know how this is going to go and what to expect and everything. This lady right over here just talked about, are you going to post flyers? And that kind of leads into my thought process of how do we let those that will be attending from Atlanta or outside of the state, who may not even go to your website, who may not even watch the local channel, how do we get the word out to them to let them know that, hey, this is what you're going to expect when you come onto the island, and this is how you're going to have to, do things certain ways accordingly to kind of mitigate any potential,
Yeah.
for lack of a better way to put it, bad things happen.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why we really wanted to work with an organizer this year is to help message those who attend the festival. So we'll be working with our partners to get message out. Sir, do you want to address?
Yes, one thing that we are letting everybody know on when we're posting our flyers and everything, we'll be letting them know that, again, safety and maintenance, right? Like that's going to be a key word that we're going to be using a lot for everybody, safety and maintenance, and making sure that they know that this is a one-day event where everybody has to be in and out, right? So we're making sure that everybody's happy, safety, keeping this place beautiful and happy for y'all to be there for the 20th, right? We are mainly highly preaching safety and maintenance. That's why, again, all our DJs on our websites, everything, we will be acknowledging safety and maintenance.
Quick question. I was looking on Eventbrite, just out of curiosity, to see what was being put out to the public that's going to be attending. And everything I can find where you can buy tickets to the event and parking, it's advertising April 18th through the 21st.
George, you want to address?
Yes, can you ask that question one more time, please?
Yes, everywhere I'm looking on Eventbrite, just to find out what information the public is able to access to be able to attend the event. And I don't know if these are fake promoters, but there are tickets available, and it says official dates, April 18th to the 21st.
Yes, overall, the festival is considered a weekend. Now, we're only doing the beach for one day. That's Saturday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. That's been advertised, promoted through all sources, Visit Savannah, our website, our Eventbrite. We are working legally as well as with security and police to staple down those promoters that are moving recklessly without concern for the residents, without concern for the legality of how things like this should operate for the safety of everyone involved. So we are doing our due diligence on that side, and we will only be hosting an event on the beach for one day, and that is from 8 a.m. that morning until 8 p.m. that night, and we have a staff of between, 40 and 60 people cleaning, and as well as 20 to 30 OKey officers, as well as 20-plus security officers working with them as well. So as stated by Brett, as well as everyone else, security, organization, safety, these are our number one concerns.
Yeah. But, and I'm not sure what you're looking at, but, there's lots of other promoters out there that are promoting Orange Crush that aren't affiliated with our permanent organizers. And, anyway, we're working on that issue. Yeah. And we have sent cease and desist letters to some of the organizers out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Yeah, ma'am.
How many people are y'all expecting this year compared to previous years?
We don't. Yeah, I don't want to speak for them, but they haven't sold many tickets, I don't think. Is that right? Or
I'm not.
Yeah, go ahead.
We've had to change a lot of things. We're organizing an entire music festival weekend that does base here at Tybee on Saturday. But we have other events. Sunday, fashion shows, brunches, car and bike shows, after events Friday, and before events Friday and Saturday. That all kind of go hand in hand with the beach on Saturday. We're connecting them all together. We are selling tickets. We have sold some tickets. As far as numbers for the beach for that weekend, just like any other year, we kind of can't give you a for sure number until the weekend comes and we can all see with our eyes and use our great technology resources to track the exact numbers on how many people will be on the beach during that weekend.
Yeah. And just to clarify, the other events they talked about are not on Tybee Island. There's events that they're planning in Savannah. We are planning for, 2 years ago, we estimated there's somewhere between 30 and 50,000 people on the island. We're planning for 30 to 50,000 people. Anyone else? Yeah, in the back, ma'am.
Are the sponsors of the event, will they be privy to the after-action report that the island puts together, so next year they can learn what didn't go too well, so they can build on that and compare
Yeah, it's been a main topic of discussion with the organizers. Let's all start this small, work together, learn from what worked and what didn't. And if this is going to be an ongoing relationship, we need to get better over time. Yeah, so we're going to have lots of conversations afterward.
And that $1 million bond that you spoke of, is that just for that one day, or is that for, should this be a 3-day event?
It's just a permitted one-day event.
So anything that's done on that one day, that's what the bond covers?
That's right. That's right. Sir?
Just think, as horrible as 2023 was, and as smoothly as 2024 went, I think it is awesome that Tybee and the organizers are getting together and planning, and I think this is go great, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? We're here if anyone wants to come up and ask some one-on-one questions afterward. So thank you so much, everyone.